Hi there everyone and welcome to this week's live stream GuitarQuest lesson. We will be continuing with GuitarQuest 4, perhaps unsurprisingly if you've been watching the previous lessons. Before we get stuck into that, just a couple of things. So if you're on a device that has any notifications that might ping away, then please turn them off so we get our dedicated half an hour's guitar time. And if there's any children watching, then I suggest have an adult in the room just to kind of help explain a few of the ideas if needed. Cool, okay, so let's check our tuning initially. So here's our bottom E string. So you want to make sure yours sounds the same as that. Okay, and then we're going to tune by ear today. So we're going to go to the 5th fret on the 6th string, that's our note A. We compare the open 5th string to that. And then we adjust that until we're happy they're the same. Then when we're confident with that, we move to the 5th string 5th fret and compare the open 4th string to that one. Make sure we're happy with those, and then we go to the 4th string 5th fret, that's the G, so we play that and compare the open 3rd string to that. Make sure again we're happy with those, and then we come to the 3rd string 4th fret. This is the only one that's a little bit different. That's our note B. So we play that and compare the open 2nd string to it. And then when we're happy, we go back to the E and on the 2nd string 5th fret I should say, and play that. We know that note's correct, so we can play the 1st string then we compare the 1st string to that one and adjust until we're happy. So hopefully once you've done that, everything's all fine and the guitar is in tune. But whenever we tune by ear, it's always definitely a good idea to strum a few chords just to double check. So let's play a G. Hopefully it'll sound something like this. So any of the chords we're about to play, if they don't sound easy on the ear, then just double check the tuning because they should all sound very easy, basically. So if there's any kind of tension in there, then you might have an iffy string or something like that. So worth just double checking. Okay, let's try a D, and then an A, and then we'll go to an E. Cool, okay, so we're going to try our chromatic warm-up that we've been playing the last couple of weeks. So to demonstrate, we're going to start with the open 6th string, and then we play 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, then to the next one, 5th string, open, then 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and we keep going. So same across all the strings. And then when we get to the G at the top, we just make our way back down again, and we only play the G once. So we hit that G, and then straight back down. Okay, cool, so that's the plan. So let's try it together. So after 4, okay, so 3, 4. Play this note once, straight back down. Okay, cool. So a couple of things to think about would be with your right hand, just trying to keep making sure your index and middle fingers are alternating. Try and make sure 1st finger at 1st fret, 2nd finger at 2nd fret, 3rd finger at 3rd fret. And that's pretty much it. Otherwise, try and keep it steady. If you found that too easy, just try playing it a bit faster. What we're also going to do now is just have a look at some sort of arpeggio kind of ideas around chords. So over the last couple of weeks we talked about E and how we were going to play the 6th string, then the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and then move our thumb to the 5th string and do the same 1st, 2nd, 3rd strings again. So we went like this. Okay, so that was E. A, same kind of thing, but we're going to start on the 5th string and then go to the 6th. So we start with the 5th, and then the 6th there, and then we go back to the 5th, and then the 6th. So our 3 fingers on the right hand, or plucking hand, depends obviously if you're left or right handed, we're playing the 3rd finger on the 1st string, middle finger on the 2nd string, and index finger on the 3rd. So they're always doing the same thing, and so you just want to try and keep that really nice and consistent. Okay, so what we're going to do now is play around with the D chords. So hopefully you know the D by now, and so what we're going to do with our thumb is start on the 4th string, then we do the same top 3 strings again, and then we're going to move to the 5th string with our thumb, and then repeat. Okay, so we'll just try that together, and then we're going to loop or put all the chords together in a progression so you can sort of hear how it's going to sound. So, okay, so let's start on the D. So we make that shape. So just to recap, 3rd string, 2nd fret with your 1st finger, 1st string, 2nd fret with your middle finger, and 2nd string, 3rd fret with your 3rd finger. Okay, and so we're going to go strings 4, 1, 2, 3, then 5, 1, 2, 3. Okay, just try and keep it nice and steady. So here we go, after 4, so 3, 4. To the 5th string, back to the 4th, and the 5th. Cool, okay, so that's the idea. Now what we're going to do is play a chord progression that goes, I should figure this out earlier, so we're going to start on an A, and go to D, oh, I should have got to the 5th there, and then to the E, and then back to A. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, so A to D to E, and back to A again. So obviously if you want to write that down just so you remind yourselves what we're doing, then do go for it. Scribble away in the book if you've printed it out. We'll take it nice and slow. Okay, so starting on the A, so remember A is, thumb is doing 5th to 6th. When we get to the D, we go 4th to 5th. When we get to E, it's the other way around, we're going to go 6th to 5th. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So let's start together on the A, and we're just going to see if we can work our way through it, okay? So here we go. Okay, so 3, 4. To the 6th. Back to the 5th there. And the 6th. And change to D. So that's the 4th there. Then the 5th. Back to the 4th, and the 5th, and the E, we go to the 6th string, and the 5th, back to the 6th, and the 5th, and then we go back to the A, so the open 5th, and the 6th, back to the 5th, and the 6th. Oops, a little catch on the string there, and then maybe we just finish with the strum. So, okay, so let me just demonstrate again to how this is going to sound if we go a little bit faster. So feel free to join in if you feel confident, but I appreciate this might be a step too far at this stage. But see how you go. So we're going to go this kind of speed. So I'm going to count, that's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, that kind of tempo. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. To D. To E. Back to A, strum. Obviously you can go around as many times as you want, really. Yeah, if you find that easy, you can pick the speed up, you know, so it's kind of like. Go round again and so on. You can go faster than that if you like, whatever works for you, really. So yeah, that's one of the things we've been working on over the last couple of weeks. So if you've got any questions on it, we do have the chat function. I forgot to mention that earlier, so please do ask any questions if you have any. Otherwise, we are going to move on. So we are going to look at in GuitarQuest 4, page 13, and last week we talked about playing these notes in the 5th position. So back in GuitarQuest 3 we learned the notes on the top 3 strings, so C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So hopefully sort of vaguely okay with those. So what we were focusing on was the low notes. So we're going to start 6th string 5th fret, which is our A. Then we go to the 7th fret for the B, 8th fret for the C, and we go on to the next string, same frets, so D at the 5th fret, E at the 7th, F at the 8th, then we're going to go to G, 4th string 5th, and then A, 4th string 7th. Okay, so we're just going to try and play those 8 notes together. Okay, I'm going to say the note names out loud as we go. I would recommend that you do that. I think it's a good way of kind of connecting the notes and the frets and things that you're playing with, you know, with the notes that they actually are. So, like I say, I'd recommend doing it. You don't obviously have to, but I think it's a good exercise to try. So we're going to go up, so, and then we're going to come straight back down again. So again, when we get to that top note, we're only going to play it once. So this is just kind of typically how scales are played. You don't tend to repeat the top note. But again, I mean, from a practice perspective, if you do, it's not the end of the world at all. It's just, you know, it's just sort of the standard format for playing scales, if you like. So let's try it. Yeah, see if you can say the note names out loud, and particularly on the way back down, that is usually a better test because you're going to be saying the alphabet backwards effectively. That's usually a bit harder, basically. So, okay, so let's try it then. So after 4, just nice and slow, starting on that A, the 5th fret on the 6th string. Okay, so here we go. So 3, 4. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and we're going to come straight back down. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Okay, I'm just going to do it one more time, same again. Okay, so 3, 4. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Cool, okay. I was sort of half singing the melody, I was saying those notes, so maybe singing's a stretch actually, but yeah. Anyway, you sort of hear me doing something there anyway. So yeah, practice those, really good. If you need to go over the notes on the top 3 strings in the 5th position, then just revisit GuitarQuest 3. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly where it is in there, but it's in there somewhere towards the latter part of the book and therefore the lessons as well. So, okay, so we're going to move on, have a look at exercise 17. So this one is basically playing all notes in this kind of area, it's all straight timing, as in no swing, that kind of thing. So we'll get stuck into that in a minute. The one note I just want to bring your attention to is the B flat in there. So that's going to be 4th string 8th fret. So if you think of the A down here, 3rd string 2nd fret, we know that B flat is next door to it, so it's the same principle up here. So we get the B flat there. Okay, now we did go over this one last week in a reasonable amount of detail, so we're just going to try and play it today and see how we get on. Obviously, if you've got any questions, do fire away, but otherwise, let's take it away. So after 4, okay, so just nice and slow, here we go. So 3, 4. Chords there, so 6th string 5th and 5th string 7th. Sorry, I should have mentioned that at the start, but yeah, that's where we finished. The other thing, another way you can approach it if you like, is the pattern that we play, say in the first 2 bars. We then play it again in bars 3 and 4, and then when we get to bars 5 and 6, we basically do exactly the same pattern, but just we move one string to the floor. So our start note is here on the 5th string 5th fret, but what our fingers do is basically moving to the same frets each time, but just on different strings. So if that helps, you're very welcome to think of it that way. But yeah, kind of whatever you need to do to get to the point that you can actually just play it effectively. That's always our goal at the end of the day. So okay, so let's have a go at number 18 now. So this is the same tune, but this time played with swing. Okay, so remembering, just a quick demonstration. So if I was playing the top E string, so straight would be like this. So 1 and 2 and that kind of thing. And then swing. That's that sort of bouncy kind of rhythm. And in previous lessons, I think we talked about the Humpty Dumpty rhythm. So if you know the old nursery rhyme, the very start of it, the Humpty Dumpty, it's basically that kind of rhythm is what we want to try and inject into this tune wherever we have a pair of quavers. So just to demonstrate before we play it together, just the first couple of bars, they're now going to sound like this. So and then so on. So hopefully you can hear that sort of more bouncy kind of feel. And I played them on the lesson last week, but if you listen to the backing tracks, although the notes are the same, you've got 2 very, very different styles of tune or song, or however you want to think about it, that come out of this, purely just by really just changing that rhythm and then changing the feel of how I wanted the backing tracks to come across. So one's very rocky, one's a bit more jazzy. So I always kind of think that kind of thing can be quite an interesting insight into how people work, or how musicians work, and how they might think about things. So okay, so let's try exercise 18 then, which is basically exercise 17 but with swing. So after 4, including the repeats. Okay, so here we go. So 3, 4. Okay, good stuff. So, if you managed to play along with either or possibly even both of those, exercises 17 and 18, then please do give yourself a pat on the back and well done. You know, playing notes, although they're notes you've learnt before, but playing them in a different place on the guitar can be a little confusing at times, but it's definitely worth persevering with. So particularly if you're more into your kind of rocky kind of playing, well, I say that, pretty much any style other than classical probably. A minor and playing around the 5th fret and the 5th position, and that is one of the guitar player's most friendly keys. So it's one that you want to get used to, I would suggest. So, so yeah, take some time and really try and get to grips with it. Okay, but we're going to move on to exercise 19 now. So this one is the A natural minor scale. So it's really just kind of bringing together what we've just talked about, playing the notes here in the 5th position, and we're also going to include the notes that we played from book 3. So the start, we've got the C. In fact, we're only going to go up to the A. Sorry, so we're going to go C, D, E, F, G, A. So we start on this A and we finish on this A. Now, there's one thing that we just have to be mindful of, and from teaching, you know, teaching privately and stuff, this is the bit that trips people up. So we start here. So we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. That's fine. Then we've got to get to a B. So what we're going to do is come down to the 3rd string, 4th fret, and find the B. So we have to do a little positional shift, and then we drop to the 4th fret on the 3rd string to get the B. Then we can get the C at the 5th fret and the D at the 7th fret. So we know C and D already from previous lessons. So I'll just demonstrate again. So we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Then we do this little positional shift down to the 4th fret, C at the 5th, D at the 7th, and then we go to E on the 2nd string. So we're going to shift again and come up to the 5th fret for your E. Then we've got F at the 6th, G at the 8th, and an A 1st string 5th. Okay. So let me just demonstrate that the whole way through. Okay, so we're going to go just relatively slowly. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Then we do our little positional shift for the B, C and D. Shift again to get the E, F, G and then A. Then we're going to come back down. Little positional shift here. So as we come back down, we're going to go A, G, F, E. We're going to shift effectively to the 4th position, so we can get the D, C, and B, and then we're going to come back to the 5th position for the next string. So just coming back down again, just to demonstrate, we're going to go little positional shift, excuse me, and then shift again there, and then we're back in our normal playing position. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So we are going to play it together, see how we get on, just nice and slow. I've just seen a question, just sort of saying what's going on here. So these are the GuitarQuest lessons. They've been going on for a couple of years now, and we work through the GuitarQuest books, and I just sort of teach you how to play all this stuff, and by the time you get to the end of the course, you should be able to play. Well, you should have a good foundation in pretty much, I don't want to say everything, but you know, whatever you choose to go and play after that, you should have that foundation to be able to pursue it. That's the goal of these lessons. So, okay, so let's start with that A natural minor. So after 4, okay, nice and slow. So here we go. So 3, 4. A, B, C, D, positional shift to the B and the C and the D. We're going to shift again back to the 5th position. E, F and G. Hit the A, come back down. We're going to shift again, pinky finger to the 7th. Shift again, back to the 5th position. hopefully that makes sense. As I say, it's that positional shift. And I'd say more often than not, sorry, I didn't finish my sentence. The positional shift is what causes issues sometimes. But this again is a really, really common scale, especially if you're into your rock guitar playing. The natural minor scale just comes up time and time again. So being comfortable with it is really important if you like that style of music. But yeah, so going up, working our way through, the positional shift there is usually not too bad. It's coming back down, it's remembering that you've got to kind of move your hand when you play that third string, and then again back over here. So it's a relatively straightforward idea, but it's not necessarily that straightforward to play it cleanly. So, but you know, you practice it a few times and you'll be fine with it. It just, that positional shift might trip you up a little bit if you're not used to that kind of thing. So, okay, we've got a few minutes. So what we're going to do is turn the page. We're going to go on to exercise 20. I'm not going to play the backing track to that one because it is just a scale, but if you want to have a listen to it, just check out my YouTube channel. All the backing tracks are on there. So we won't get through all of this today, I wouldn't have thought, but let's have a look. So exercise 20, this talks about right hand arpeggios, which links back to what we were doing at the start, you know, with our kind of that sort of idea. So with this one, exercise 20, it's largely just open strings with the bass note changing. So, for example, in the first bar, we've got a bottom E, then we're going to play G with the index finger, B with the middle finger, and E with the third finger. So that's just beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then the second bar. I should mention as well, all our F's are played sharp, so we see an F there, but we've got to think F sharp, so that's 6th string, 2nd fret. Then we've got G, B and E again. Then the third bar we come up to G at the 3rd fret. Same open strings. Then the F sharp again. So you can hear, it's quite repetitive, so I'll just play it again. I'll go a little bit faster just to show, give you a better demonstration. So we start with the bottom E, then the F sharp, up to G, and back to F sharp. And then you would repeat that, but what we're going to do is have a look at the next bit, so bar 5, so we come on to the note C, 5th string, 3rd fret, and then play G, B and E again, so C, down to a B at the 2nd fret, down to an A, back to a B, and then you repeat that section, and then you go back to the beginning for the DCL coda, play the first 4 bars, and then you jump down to the final bar, bar 9. We'll just talk about that quickly. That's your bottom E, beats 1, 2, and then you come in on beat 3 with the top 3 strings, and what you want to do is pluck each with a different finger, so the index, middle and 3rd. Index plays the 3rd string, middle finger plays the 2nd string, and your 3rd finger plays the 1st. So you get underneath those strings and just pluck the strings. If you get this kind of sounds, I don't know if it's going to come out that well over the video, but if you get that sort of thing, which isn't particularly nice sounding, what it is you're getting underneath the strings too much, and you're sort of pulling them too far up probably. So just try and, if you get that, try playing it a little bit quieter. And you get a much nicer kind of sound. So, okay, so yeah, to recap then on that one, really, because our beats 2, 3 and 4 are basically the same in every bar, just playing G, B and E, all you've really got to do is think about what that bass note is at the start of each bar. What that, I suppose, it kind of, I don't know, hopefully makes it relatively easy. But the focus is therefore more on the technique of the right hand. So if you're practicing, try and make sure you don't go like thumb and then index, index, index. You know, you could do that. The tune isn't so fast that you can't do that. But what we want to do is practice it so that you can do it a little bit faster. And that kind of idea, that little roll across the strings, again, is really common. Very, very common in classical. Very common in I would say pretty much any finger style of music, you know, something like that. So, okay, let's just put the song on. We'll follow along as we usually do, just to finish off with. So, hope you enjoy this one. So this is exercise 20. Okay, cool. So, just turn that off. So that was exercise 20, farewell. So that is a good place for us to finish up, I think, for today. So if you enjoyed the lesson, please do give it a thumbs up. That's always much appreciated. If you know anyone that might be interested, then please do let them know about them. So this is GuitarQuest 4, so there's, this is I think week 83, so there's been 82 lessons already, taking you from absolute beginner up to this stage. So yeah, there's plenty of material there to dive into. All the tunes are backing tracks, so check those out as well. So things to practice, I would keep going with the chromatic warm-up that we did, then practice those chords and the arpeggios that went with them. And in terms of songs to practice, we'll probably do 18 again, which is basically 17 but with swing, just so we've got something, you know, we're kind of working on those notes in the lower areas there. And then we want to have a go at exercises 19 and 20 as well. So plenty to be getting on with, hopefully. And just let you know, it's half term next week, so I usually kind of follow the school terms roughly. So no lesson next week, and we are going to be back on the 4th of May. So yeah, very best luck with the practice, and I'll look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. Just seeing the questions come in, I'll reply on the chat in just a second. So yeah, very best luck with the practice, and I look forward to seeing you all in a couple of weeks. All right, take care everybody. Bye bye.